Monday. So come Friday, if it is a runaway victory, we will be careful. We will be careful with our celebrations. We will be happy that we won, but we will not forget those who have lost their loved ones and the tragedy that struck at 6:52 p.m. Payal Mehta now joins us. The Monday tragedy will be remembered. The Monday tragedy, Payal, will not be forgotten. And that's what the BJP is quietly telling its supporters, its cadre.
Yes, election win on one side. The BJP understands that they are Indians and they are citizens first and they have responsibility towards that. And they can't be insensitive towards the family that have actually lost their loved ones in that unfortunate tragedy that occurred just a couple of days ago as well. And that is the reason the BJP top brass has conveyed very, very, directly and very, very importantly to its party cadre that do not engage in major celebration. No bursting of crackers should be encouraged. And no, bringing those bans. It's a huge, it's a huge fair that you see at the BJP headquarters. Whenever the Prime Minister comes in, there's flowers which are showered on him. All of this has been said to be kept under the wraps and kept very low profile. Given the fact that insensitivity cannot be something that the BJP leadership over here can really display. So, we'll have to just wait and see how this runs through the day and, what happens when the Prime Minister comes to the party headquarters, or if he decides to just convey his greetings to the party workers, through probably an online medium. It remains to be seen. The final decision will be taken in some time from now, but absolutely low-key celebrations, that's the mantra coming in from the BJP top brass.
Right. Thank you for that, Payal. We've got Sandeep Shastri and Rahul Verma also joining us. And viewers, like we said, we are not hiding anything. So if you see them snacking away, it's poha, healthy breakfast that's being served at the table because there's an early morning start on Result Day Live. Nalin Mehta has just got his hand on a mic and he's on a phone because he's also managing editor Moneycontrol. So instructions are being passed on how election coverage will be on other platforms of the News 18 network. So you're wearing multiple hats.
Looking at how the markets are looking at the Bihar election and what the expectation in the markets at the moment is, and what the scenarios could be. So we're talking to a few people to get a sense of the markets at the moment.
So markets, there's still time for the markets, but Sandeep Shastri, Rahul Verma. Now the Mahila factor and also this whole aspect of 10,000. How much will that impact? Will the women actually decide the ballot this time around, because they've clearly outnumbered the male folk in coming out and voting? Sandeep ji.
My own response is, while the 10,000 factor is important, we are ignoring an important dimension. In the last 5 years of Bihar government, there has been 2-3 more developments which have impacted the women factor. One is what is called the Ajivika Didi, the whole livelihood program that they had.
Right.
There are reports which say these Ajivika Didis were there at the polling booths encouraging women to come out and work and vote. So self-help groups played an important role. The cycle program for women and girls, the prohibition, all these, and then 10,000 was, I think, in a sense, the topping of the cake. But then let's not forget there were several schemes involving women which have impacted in terms of the attitude that women have taken towards the current government, and you may see its impact in the way the results pan out today.
Sandeep ji, I keep thinking his voice resembles somebody. It is GVL Narasimha Rao. He sounds like GVL Narasimha Rao. He does. But yes, Rahul, tell me, Mahila Yuva, if Mahila may vote towards Nitish, there are many who are projecting that the Yuva may move towards Tejashwi because he is one of the most popular leaders in Bihar among the youth. Your thoughts?
So first, Mahila voting for Nitish is now a 15-year-old story, right? And so you have seen this happening from 2010, and there are, as Sandeep ji pointed out, many factors going for it. But what is more important, that political parties or leaders are trying to basically create a social base which cuts across caste lines, and those leaders are much more likely to be successful and retain power. This is what Nitish Kumar has done. Tejashwi is also trying to do that. He had some advantage among young voters in 2020, might still retain, but the big question is, would that be enough? Because Mahila would be like 1 in every 2 voter.
Right.
Youth would be 1 in every 4 voter. And even among youth, you will have 50% women. Right? So given that sort of like distribution, it basically creates greater
The Mahila
hurdles for-
factor actually cuts across caste, cuts across age.
right.
So youth does not mean only.
So
the-
what, yeah, exactly. So what you are basically seeing is not youth vote. You are seeing young men voting for Tejashwi.
and not necessarily that all young men will actually be voting for Tejashwi too.
Not all Mahila is voting for Nitish. It's just like probably.
No, but how much does that
mean?
mean women?
I want to make a point on women.
Hanji.
There are
And
two
then
topics I
Rashida.
want to flag. One is that seats where women voting has been higher. Even in the last, if you look at data in the last 2 or 3 elections, in the last election there were 71 seats. Of those, NDA won 46 with a 38.64% vote share, right? Secondly, of seats which are जहाँ पे जो women बहुल हैं जो seats, वहाँ पर the JDU has always held on to more seats than other parties, followed by BJP and then followed by RJD. So it's not like RJD also doesn't have support among women, but the JDU has the maximum amount of women voters, and that's a trend going back to 2019 or even earlier. In fact, and I think Shastri is right, that the story of the women vote in Bihar goes back to 2005, and in fact, along with Gujarat, Bihar was the one state where this idea of the women vote as a separate entity, the Mahila factor, first became prominent.
Right.
So I think this Mahila vote thing is more like a fortress approach. It is a kind of shield that Mr. Nitish Kumar has. But just to add a point what Rahul Verma was saying, basically when we talk about youth, the 50% of youth would also be women voters. If unemployment is a big issue, if job is a major issue, then women are also equally affected, particularly urban women. So we cannot Anand, make a distinction that women naturally are tilted towards Nitish Kumar. If unemployment gains currency, then I think it may hurt Nitish Kumar much more than what is expected.
Well, the man who works the wall, he'll be joining us in a bit now, Zakir Jacob, but I'm just quickly borrowing the magic wand to show what Nalin was actually talking about in terms of numbers. This is the 2020 elections, and the 2020 Bihar, this is spread across Bihar, and largely this is the phase 2. This time around. This is phase 2, so this time around the border regions and all, and Mahila factor is across 124 seats, and in those 124 seats there's a 3% difference in the vote share polled between the RJD or the MGB and the NDA, and this 76 seats went to the NDA overall out of the 124, and this is at a time, the last time around, when there was a little bit of an anti-Nitish wave, the JDU was on the wane. This time around, this factor has actually changed. This factor is where Nitish is perhaps looking stronger than ever before, and he's got a public sentiment, and there's not too much of an anti or somebody cutting his legs from within itself. So that part is not there. So will this not go up rather than down, especially with the 10,000 impact or angle?
See, there's a backstory to this, Anand. I'll just describe it with anecdotes what I saw on the ground. Many people, when you go on the Nitish Kumar knew in July, August that the youth is rallying for the Mahagathbandhan. He knew this. He saw this and he took 3 steps. Number 1, as we all now say, 10,000 Chunav. For the first time in Bihar's history, a cash It's never happened. Yes, we've given cycles, we've given other things, but a cash payout for the first time was given from the month of August, September. When I went to the ground and asked women, did you get the cash? Cash मिला है, उसका बकरी खरीदा है, बछड़ा खरीदा है, sewing machine खरीद ली है. Women have got the money. Right. First mover advantage. Second big step, I think, which Nitish Kumar did, 125 units of free electricity to every domestic consumer in Bihar. A big sop. It has softened the somewhat anger which was there against Nitish. I went to villages. People said, हमारी तो अब गाय भी जो है वो पंखे के नीचे सोती है गाँव में.
Right.
Electricity आया.
Yeah, Indu Kumari ji also spoke about it. Yeah.
And the third big thing, I think, which has happened is this old age pension, which has not been spoken about much. Rupees 400 to rupees 1100. When you go to the aged people in Bihar, the senior citizens, 1.2 crore, mind you.
Yeah.
They all thank Nitish Kumar. They see that, when you ask them that Nitish Kumar बूढ़े हो गए हैं, they say कि काम कर ना कोई चोरी करके थोड़ी बूढ़े हुए हैं. So, they say this anecdote to me. So I think the senior citizen gratitude towards Nitish Kumar, the woman of course already a solid voter, but I think even more this time because of the cash payout which has come to them and promise of 2 lakh will come in the future and free electricity. These are the 3 big moves by Nitish ahead of the elections.
Let's just quickly look
happening.
The last 10 years, 4 elections. So it is 2015 Bihar elections, 2019 Lok Sabha, 2020 Bihar elections and the 2024 Lok Sabha. Just the women voters in these 124 seats, how it's happened. Now this is 2015, okay. In 2015, the Mahila factor, it's an even share, 61 seats each. and 2 seats went to others. So, and look at the vote share. But there is a huge gap in the vote share, 43.3% and 28. But the seat conversion, INDI Gathbandhan had a higher seat conversion. Now, if you want to look into the, and then you bring that to 2020, the 2020 numbers, we just looked at 17, 76 and 42. In between that, we had the 2019 Lok Sabha. So let's look at the 2019 Lok Sabha. 2019 Lok Sabha, look at the translation. Women voters actually gravitated in huge numbers because then the Modi factor also comes in. So it's not just Nitish Babu, it's the Modi factor, and look at the Modi factor. In 2024, now this is the recent Lok Sabha elections, and in the recent Lok Sabha elections, again because of the Modi factor, it's again 82, but then there's a slip. It's a slip by about 11 seats from the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, but still it's more than about 44% vote share. Now,
Anand,
in the 22,
yeah, if you can draw in the rural filter there, that will kind of correlate with what the Mohila factor is.
Okay, let's try and add the rural filter here.
Fundamentally a rural state.
Okay,
if you draw in the rural factor on the magic wall, it kind of tells you.
So the Mahila factor and rural factor. This is 2024 Lok Sabha, 73 seats. Now, if I were to go look at the 2020 Vidhan Sabha, just going 2020 Vidhan Sabha, it's again 68. So rural voters, Mahila have gone towards the
And I would argue
NDA.
to add to what Aman was saying, I think Aman was absolutely right about the 3 steps that were taken by Nitish Kumar last year. I would add one more to that, to the pensions and to the Mahila scheme, is the PM Kisan factor. I think that's an understated factor because it's been going on for a long time. 28,000 crores have been given to small farmers in Bihar. That's a national scheme. But I think one of the reasons that I explained these rural numbers, and if you remove the Mahila tab from the look at the rural parts of Bihar without the Mahila factor as well, you will find a very similar trend. Yes. Quickly, Sandeep, you have to go to
We have been talking of women, we have been talking of youth, and we have been talking of caste. And Rashid ji raised the question of unemployment. I think what is important to focus is unemployment has been there last 25 years among the top 3 problems that people have faced. What is critical this time is the trust quotient. You see, who does the voter trust in terms of being able to deliver what they are promising? Everybody is making great delivery promises, but who does the voter trust in that sense? And that, I think, is the critical factor when they stand before that EVM to vote.
Well, let's ask Arunima and Arun Dhanta joining us. Arunima, whereabouts are you? Why do I see Anand Singh behind you? So whereabouts? I see you on the poster. Yeah.
Yes, so I am at Anand Singh's Patna residence, and you know, it's all decked up. It's almost as if Diwali still continuing. It says, "Jail ka fatak tootega, mera sher chhootega." And if you come with me inside, I want to show you that party offices are not ready as yet, but the Anand Singh residence is all decked up. There are supporters here. There are shamiyanas that have been put up on the other side, and they say they're going to feed 1 lakh people. So this is the shamiyana. The chairs have all been set up, the tables have been laid out, and the food, just bear with me if I will walk down to the kitchen area. I spotted at least 10 tubs of gulab jamun and rasgulla already ready. There's a huge kadhai there which was simmering with tarkari. So this is the area where the supporters from Mokama are going to come and they're going to be fed. There's a poster outside which says that every Vidhan Sabha member in Mokama is welcome to Anand Singh's residence. So this is the kitchen area that we are now walking into, where the cauliflowers have been chopped, the tomatoes are being pureed, and here when I go right, I'm going to show you where the mithai section is. This is the mithai section.
Oh, Neeraj from News 18 India is already in there.
Yes, so here, there you go. This is the mithai section.
Wow.
The gulab jamun is already ready. The rasgulla is already, ready for dispersal. And on the other side, puri tarkari nash being prepared. Here.
अरे यहाँ डाइट कंट्रोल करा रहे हैं आप और आप पूरी तरकारी और गुलाब जामुन दिखा रही है.
The puri tarkari is ready here. कितने लोगों के लिए खाना बन रहा है बता दीजिए यहाँ पे.
हाँ मैडम 1 लाख.
1 लाख.
हाँ मैडम जी.
तो आपको पता है वो जीत रहे हैं.
एकदम जीत रहे हैं. इधर आ जाइए. सब्जी पड़ेगा.
Hello. Okay, the sabzi is going for dispersal, Anand. It's a full-on kitchen that is.
हर बार आनंद सिंह जीतते हैं.
नहीं, इधर जेल गए तो असर नहीं पड़ेगा.
कोई जेल का असर नहीं पड़ेगा इस बात को लेकर के. मैं भी आनंद, आप भी आनंद, पूरे मोकामा की जनता से हर घर से है अनंत अनंत
Okay, हर घर से है अनंत अनंत. So that is the sentiment here. You know, they're saying साजिश रची गई है.
मैडम,
So this
मैडम.
is, एक मिनट. So you know, they're all excited because they feel as soon as counting begins, Anand Singh will be declared winner. So at least at one place here in Patna, the early mover advantage can be seen in the kitchen.
Well, see, Anand Singh is somebody who's always another Bahubali. Arunima, and you know, jail ka darwaza tootega, mera sher chutega. That's a sentiment in Mokama, and Anand Singh had said that this was being done deliberately to try and, you know, sabotage my own campaign. That's what he had believed. But whether or not the victory is in his, we don't know. But आप गुलाब जामुन पूरी तरकारी खाइए हमारी तरफ से, हमारा डाइट नहीं छूटेगा अभी तक तो, because हम वहाँ आपके साथ नहीं है.
Diet control for us also.
Let's go across to Arun Datta. Arun Datta is there at the BJP office. हाँ अरुण वाह, अभी भी आप अकेले ही हैं क्या आ गए कार्यकर्ता?
बिल्कुल 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 आनंद, अभी भी हम अकेले ही हैं क्योंकि बीजेपी इज वेरी कैलकुलेटेड एंड मेजर्ड हियर. एज वी स्पोक टू लीडर्स yesterday, they are saying that they will start celebrations, but there is a specific time for it. 7:38 you will see that BJP workers will be coming slowly to the party office. That's the instruction which has been given. And also, as we were discussing earlier, Anand, that the orders have been placed for the sweets here, and slowly you will see that also trickling in. Right now, of course, the office is filled with the posters, one of which you see right behind me, Raftar pakad chuka hai Bihar fir se NDA sarkar. So the entire office is decked up with such posters, and you will see slowly BJP workers will be coming in here. We are also told that there is a place dedicated here where the laddu, samosas and things for the breakfast will be prepared. So those people will also be coming in here at the BJP office. And BJP, of course, discussed earlier, is very, very confident that we're going to cross 160.
Right. Whether or not they cross 160, we will know in a few hours from now, Arun Datta. But in a few minutes, you will have nice hot breakfast. That's good. So the hard work pays off. Early bird catches the samosa in this case. You know, thank you. Stay on. We'll come back. And as and when we have somebody from the Bihar BJP coming there, we'd like you to speak with them. Pallavi Ghosh, ये बड़ा सुनसान वीराना, आप कहाँ पर हैं?
Okay, it's not Virana at all, it's just trickling in. You see this bus over here, that's a trademark Prashant Kishore bus. I'm at the Sheikhpura house in Patna. He's been parked over here for 3.5 hours. A very kind of a corporate style of campaign. I'm just going to give you a wee bit picture right behind me. These are the people who are trickling in. This is the team PK as they call themselves. You know, Prashant Kishore has tried to change the landscape of the way election should be done over here, because wherever he's been traveling, he's been talking about a different Bihar. He's talking about that caste should not be the barometer. I want jobs. You know, in fact, he's the only one who's also talking about prohibition doesn't make sense at all, and if I come to power. And I remember when I had spoken to him and I asked him whether you're a king or a kingmaker, he told me very categorically that I'm going to be the kingmaker. Well, the numbers are going to tell us that. But he's
Pallavi, if you have been speaking to him, you should have asked him, kingmaker बनना तो लड़ना भी तो चाहिए था. Why didn't he fight the elections? Election लड़े होते तो 5-10 सीटें मिलती.
When I went to Gopalganj, I did ask him that question, but you know, he tells me that a captain of the ship ही अगर लड़ने लगेगा तो फिर वो बाकी team members के लिए क्या लड़ेगा और क्या batting करेगा. That's his logic. But you know, I agree.
In cricket, the captain leads from the front. You have to be in the middle. Batting आपको करना है. आप नहीं batting करेंगे, आप run नहीं बनाएंगे, the team will not get lifted. Morale will not be up.
But I think Anand, he wants to be a different kind of a captain over here. He wants to be, but I agree with you. Before I come back to you, I think there's been one point which may have hurt him, which could hurt him, which has certainly given an ammunition to his political opponents over here, was the fact that why did he not contest the elections? Because whatever explanation he may give, they always ask this question that.
Not just, absolutely. After doing 3 years of hard work, legwork on ground and trying to set up cadre and party right across every district, every ward, every area, why did he actually then not contest? Everybody had the same. You had to contest. You had to go and challenge somebody, the tiger. Either contest where, the Lalan Singh was contesting, or somebody from JDU was contesting, or from Raghopur, where Tejashwi, Bastion, go ahead and show that fight to at least energize your cadre. That's the sentiment everybody had. And when he said, I'm not fighting, I think that itself deflated the entire campaign for Chand Suraj, contrary to what he may believe. All right, there's another poster. Just coming back to you, Pallavi, in a bit, to our guests in the studio, have a look at this poster. So viewers, there are poster wars. JDU now has released a poster that exudes confidence. बस कुछ ही घंटों का इंतजार. That's what the poster says. We'll try and play. It's just a matter of a few hours. फिर से नीतीश सरकार. Something to that effect. There it is. See, there you go. बस कुछ घंटों का इंतजार. फिर आ रही है सुशासन सरकार. So this is the poster that has been put by Nitish Kumar and the JDU. Very clearly, their tone is a stark contrast to the RJD. I'm going to check with our team if we can put the RJD poster on the far side, and we can just compare and contrast the tonality from both the parties. The moment you see these kind of the tonality and the signaling, does that not show who's the winner and who's the loser? Now these are the two. Thank you. That's great. Now सावधान, हर स्ट्रॉन्ग रूम के पास सब कुछ शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से होना चाहिए, बोल रहे नीचे, पर 20,000 लोग पहुंचिए. ये देखिए, शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से होगा. नीचे छोटा लिखा है, बड़ा लिखा है सावधान, 20,000 लोग पहुंचिए. हियर दे आर सेइंग कुछ ही घंटों का इंतजार, फिर आ रही है सुशासन सरकार. संदीप जी.
Now, it's clear that the JDU wants to ramp up the way it projects its confidence level, because there was a lot of talk of the JDU being the weak link of the NDA, and I think they want to very clearly say we are there in front, we are there leading in important ways the coalition. So that's the whole message that goes back, and with this focus on Nitish as Sushashan Babu, the clear focus on him is very much there.
Sandeep, at the start when we saw BJP a bit not declaring him very clearly, saying Vidhayak Dal set karega, I saw Nitish Kumar's party come out with this poster 25 se 30 phir Nitish. So they had very clearly put it out. There was also a lot of talk, Anand, that when BJP and JDU decided to contest 101 seats each. Always in Bihar, the JDU has contested more seats in an assembly election when they fought with the BJP. This is the first time that both contested the same number of seats. A lot of chatter in Patna is Nitish being cut to size, he's not being declared the CM face. Nitish party came out and said 25 se 30 phir se Nitish. Aaj also they are saying that kuch ghanton ka intezar phir Nitish sarkar. So JDU is very clear. BJP in fact had to come around and very clearly then say that Nitish will be the chief.
No, not just that. Despite
I want to give you some numbers. In 2005, in 2020, the JDU had contested 115, BJP had contested 110, and even earlier in 2005, JDU contested 139, BJP contested 102. This is the first time it's an equal alliance in number of seats.
So I think this poster business is purely for the media consumption. I think few hours people will get to know. This is just to draw attention, and they're being very successful.
Whatever poster you put, there has to be a tonality to it. That is a reason why.
No purpose.
The Jaishe Mohammed poster was also for social media consumption, but the tonality was important. The messaging was important.
I think we have to remember here that the situation today, even in national politics, it's an alliance government. JDU is a very important ally for the stability of the government at the center. JDU wants to project that strength and hopes to have a good performance. So it has more leeway nationally as well in alliance discussions. So I think this confidence is also kind of like a start to how much it will negotiate with the center if the elections go.
I think the focus for Nitish has always been to get special status without getting special status. That's where it is. You can't officially give special status, but you got to give enough to Bihar so that it's never a Bimaru this one, and the Bihari does not have to go Bahar. Now, will that promise be made? Will they exact more of their flesh? Yes, Rahul.
I'm worried.
You're worried?
Looking at RJD poster. Because see, I think what seems to be happening after 2024, of course, like opposition parties in last 1.5 years has been sort of questioning the election process, and this is basically taking it to another level, right? Just before the counting is beginning, if you start doubting the entire process, this is basically, now we are on the downhill on this road, because like I don't know what would happen in the evening, but I think the entire process now with every election will always be contested.
Is this going to be trouble only if it is a very, very close fight? That if it comes down to the final 7, 8, 10 seats and the margin is 300, 400 votes or something like that, and that's where then our allegations start coming. If it's a runaway win one way, you think there will be any trouble? Yeah.
No, trouble can happen any which way, Anand, but just look at the stark contrast in signaling, messaging of the two posters. One is one seems like a chilled out, confident sort of message, and in the other you see Lalu Prasad with a huge stick, a lathi, standing there, and they're asking people to sort of come in thousands. And also this whole सब कुछ शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से होगा is a meme which is kind of ironic when they put Doval's photo or something, before war and or something like that, and then they put that like,
Don't worry, all is well.
The point is, like, see, what's happening is that the opposition has started claiming that we are not losing election. The election is being stolen from us, right? Maharashtra was a runaway win, right? Given the kind of verdict.
This election being stolen, this is the narrative.
So what you saw, like Maharashtra and Haryana story began much later after the results came out. Now this story is beginning even before the counting has begun, because in last 2 days you saw Tejashwi Yadav sort of like reaching out to his workers, doing Zoom calls, trying to tell them this is what you have to do at the strong room, and now you have these kind of moves.
And that is where I feel, Anand, that the Election Commission has not handled this allegations of vote chori in an apt and appropriate manner. They should have ordered some kind of probe. There are a lot of former chief election commissioners are around. There should have been some kind of probe or investigation into what a leader of opposition was saying. Whether it was true, untrue, it would have become pani ka pani. See, by skirting it, it's not a matter of
during the campaign, the RJD focused not on vote chori as the Congress did. But now with this issue coming up as part of their poster, now is it a reflection of the RJD seeing the
is it him,
to prepare
or is it them trying to say, because the cadre, if he is trying to say the cadre has to come, that means that the cadre is deflated. There is something on the ground sentiment for a Tejashwi to sit down and address a press. Don't worry, हमने अच्छा किया है. Wow, the cadre will already know अगर हमने अच्छा किया है.
I agree with Rahul on the deeper point here that the great resilience of Indian democracy has been that everybody believes in the system. Now when the losers start saying, look, we never lost what's been lost, that we never lost, but the election was stolen, it puts a question mark on the legitimacy of the entire system, and it puts a question mark on the stability of the system. And therefore, I mean, while the Election Commission could have handled it better for sure, but the fact of the matter is, this is not good for Indian democracy if you start having these kind of direct questioning happening, because then, you can't stop a sore loser unless there is active proof. You can make allegations. I can keep saying Rashid Bhai had 2 plates of poha, he had 2 plates of poha, he had 2 plates of poha. You may all say, okay, he may have had to show me the plate. There is no plate, there is only 1 plate there. So, no, he still has had 2 plates.
Poha is very different from...
right behind me. Okay, what is
I don't even have any poha.
And I keep telling Zaka...
Why, Raksha, please give me also some poha. Why are you the only one who's having poha?
No, yes. It's about the credibility of the system. It's not about outcome. We should not link...
No, but then you can't make claims which you can't substantiate. No, then give it on a written affidavit. They are not doing that.
In a vibrant democracy,
in the context of Bihar, when Mr. Gandhi took out his yatra, of course that flopped, and we know that Congress is being looked at as a liability. But now when Tejashwi is picking up this issue, the same issue that Mr. Gandhi set in Bihar, although it was kind of like, it didn't pick up any momentum, but if Tejashwi is inciting his workers to come out on that street, that's a different story from Mr. Gandhi taking out a yatra.
Let's take a look at this Rahul Yatra factor, and I'm doing this on 2024 Lok Sabha leads pasted onto assembly, by the way, which Nalan thinks is the way to go, because he thinks this will be similar to the 2024 Lok Sabha results and not so much the 2020 election. Let's look at the impact of the Rahul Yatra, if at all it's going to be felt. 183 constituencies, but look at the numbers. The NDA still, out of those 183, is still leading in 122. The India Alliance only in 43, and look at the difference in the vote share. In a state we're talking about 1% can make a difference of 10 or 15 seats. Last time around, the difference between the two alliances was less than 1%, and yet the NDA eked out. There is a 11% gap. So my point is, will it fall exactly the way it happened in 2024 Lok Sabha? Maybe not. Certainly not, because Mr. Modi is on the ticket, and I think that's a big factor. But if you were to apply this back to how it was in the 2020 Vidhan Sabha, along with that same Rahul Gandhi filter, then the numbers change. Then it's much closer. Look at this. The difference in vote share is barely a percent, a little over a percent, and the difference in seats is down to 30. Is not the same as what we saw in 2024 Lok Sabha. So the question is, which way will this verdict fall? Will it fall somewhere in between 2020 Vidhan Sabha or 2024 Lok Sabha?
No, and to open up to close a 11% vote share gap, it's not an easy ask. See, look, if you look at the 2024 numbers that you put, look at that vote share gap. It's 11% vote share gap. Now, in Bihar, you have these cases, you may have vote share, but you may not end up with seats. That's also there, that votes could be concentrated on certain seats and not spread all across.
There was
That's
a
also
vote
possible.
share gap in 2019 Lok Sabha, but Tejashwi closed that in the Bidhan
In 2020.
in 2020.
Yeah, so I think the critical difference there is, when people are voting in the Lok Sabha, it's for, I'm choosing the Prime Minister. I'm voting for or against Modi, right? Whereas in the Vidhan Sabha, that's not quite the case.
I think across the country, you see this difference in the way Lok Sabha voting turnout happens.
Karnataka is a
in
classic
Vidhan Sabha.
example.
And
That's true.
Here, very clearly, when it comes to the assembly, the RJD pulls up the alliance a bit.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Lok Sabha, because of the NDA factor, the Prime Minister factor, they are able to do much better in the Lok Sabha election.
In fact, this is the
Especially since
2019 one. I
2014.
projected this on to 2019. In fact, it's the LJP that's doing better than the BJP when you talk about the 2019 numbers. The JDU, which is doing better than the BJP when you talk about the 2019 numbers. But I think ultimately this election will fall somewhere between the 2020 Vidhan Sabha, as we saw here, and the 2024 Lok Sabha, because the alliances are pretty much the same. Even though the people they're choosing, one election is for Prime Minister, the other election is for Chief Minister. But this is on the Rahul Gandhi Yatra factor. This is how the map is right now. In about 30 minutes, we will start getting the little pockets getting filled up with either saffron or green or India Alliance. Two biggest factors everyone thinks is going to influence this election. One is women, the other is youth. Which of these two do you think will prevail or will dominate the discourse of this election?
See, on women factor, we know quite more than we know on the young factor. One, we know that women have largely voted for Nitish. Two, we know that the gender turnout has been really high, right? So gender gap is also strong. And women also make half of youth population, right? So given that, I think the impact of that vote is going to be much more. The question is whether that vote will keep the results around 2020 mark or that result will keep around 2024 mark. And that's one of my sort of concerns with the exit polls. If exit polls have not waited for differentials in gender turnout, then the numbers they are estimating is conservative. And
so you're saying it'll be much more than 130, 140?
Because if women are coming out in greater numbers and they are more likely to vote for a party, if you don't weigh for that in your vote share data or vote estimate data, it will not show. So that's why you're seeing the vote share gap in some polls is around 4%, 5%. But the seats they are showing is 120, 130.
See, when certain pollsters say youth and youth are voting for Tejashwi, are they saying that youth male and female? Or are they saying youth only male? Because the dipstick analogies or focus group analogies, if I may say, when our reporters have gone on ground and they have said, women are saying, I can go back home at 10. My daughter comes back home at 10 after work and she's safe. Now that daughter is a youngster. She's youth. Now who's she going to vote for? And has that been factored in pollsters when they are doing these dipsticks? Because we said, no, Mahila is spread across age groups and castes and this one, social strata.
I think, as Rahul said, there is some element of clarity which is emerging on the way the Mahila vote is likely to go. And for a variety of reasons, it seems to be favoring the NDA. If you look at the youth vote, and I concede the point that half that youth vote is women, but if you look at the other half, the expression in the media that the Gathbandhan may be the beneficiary of this vote, I think there are important question marks there, because I go back to my earlier point. If the youth are worried about issues of employment and the like, who are they looking at in terms of being able to solve that problem?
Who do they trust?
Yeah, so the trust quotient.
Yeah.
And there I believe it may well be, and we'll get to know in the course of today, it may well be that that youth vote also to a certain extent may have moved towards.
So then in that case, then does this then become a runaway election? Will this then become a runaway election if they say that the trust factor, yes, unemployment is an issue, who do I trust?
The polity, I feel that is now smarter than we think them to be. So I feel like if there's the party that is making promises of jobs, for instance, but there is no backstory of how these jobs are going to be created. Like we saw this after the Karnataka win, the Congress Karnataka win, that you made so many promises, you couldn't live up, like there was a dent on your exchequer. So this becomes a big problem. Our polity is smart. So then are the women across age groups thinking that we'd rather have cash in hand, make our own investments like bakri or, you know, some other farm animals, sewing machines, makhana, you know, farming, whatever it is that, are they thinking, do they have more confidence in what they are going to do with that money?
On this Mahila voter thing, you know, again, I'm plotting it on the 2020 result. So we have those constituencies, and more than half the number of seats in the state where women have outvoted men by a percentage of more than 10, which means for every 10 men, there are 11 women who are voting. 124 of those constituencies, the NDA won 39% vote share, and the India Alliance got just 42 at 36% vote share. Remember, overall in the state, the vote share difference was less than 1%. But here, the vote share difference is more than 3%. So this is a huge factor, and this is a JDU vote. A lot of the JDU seats were on the back of the women vote. Today, we'll see on these 124 seats where women outvote men, by how much and who are the beneficiaries politically speaking.
I want to make a couple of quick points on this. We mapped the ratio of women's seats won to overall wins. And if you look at the last 3 or 4 elections, there is a difference. If the NDA is much higher than India, as we are showing in the magic wall, but within the NDA there is a qualitative difference between JDU and BJP. Factor. So if you look at the ratio of women's seats won to overall seats, JDU in 2019 won 65% of those seats. In 2020, 55%. In 2024, 55.6%. The BJP's ratio in comparison was around the 32% mark, right? So the JDU's percentage of women voter, but significantly higher in the BJP. So that's our projections. The BJP had 20% of the votes. The JDU had 4% less. And in terms of the BJP actually pulled more seats in the 2020 elections. That's true. But what I'm saying is that that's because of the way the seat share is done and so on. But I'm saying that in terms of the seats which JDU actually won out of those, because the concentration of vote is there. So their percentage of
there's another dynamic this time around. We are discounting the rural advantages that the Kisan and the rural voter and the rural dweller has got. 2 parts. One is this whole corn, makai, because it's being used for the production of ethanol. So when I had a chat off record with somebody within the ministry, and they said that ethanol production, the sourcing has been more than upwards of 15 to 20,000 crore rupees, and it could be close to 40,000 crore rupees worth of sourcing of makai for ethanol production from Bihar. Then the makhana part, the fox nuts part, that makhana board, creation of the makhana board, organizing that, and also the relative cost increase of makhana because of it being nationalized and internationalized. Is that not going to come back and help and pay dividends to those who facilitated it? In this case, Modi Nitish or BJP JDU.
It will. I think the makhana move was a big move by the Modi government. It's going to help them. That's what the ground feedback also that the BJP has. But Anand, I'll tell you one thing. See, in every election, there is one domineering topic. You know, I remember Karnataka election, DK Shivkumar came and put that LPG cylinder right in the middle of the Congress office and said, because LPG cylinder 1200 rupees. I think this election is the 10,000 chunav. Women factor is a big factor. 10,000 rupees, actually people have got it. You know, it's gone in the bank accounts of people. When I go to the ground, what I feel that women of the ages 30 and plus, 35 and plus are totally siding with the JDU, because not only have they got the rupees 10,000, they also know the 2005 pre-era. They have seen that as children, you know, these girls could not get out of the house, could not go to school safely. Yes, the young woman voter, the 18 to 25, 18 to 30 voter, that also is struggling because of unemployment. You know, they do say that jobs Nitish ne kuch nahi kiya 20 saal mein. But their families, their mothers would tell the daughters that, look, नीतीश के अंदर जॉब नहीं मिला, बट रिमेंबर जंगल राज वापस आ गया, तो आप घूम नहीं पाओगे।
18 to 30 है वो तो 20 साल का जॉब है ही नहीं, उनको तो 18 अभी 20 साल 4-5 साल
these are the women I'm seeing stepping out of college, you know, at 20 years, they are not getting jobs in Bihar. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But they also remember the old times that you're not able to win Rome safely in Bihar. I think that was the bigger challenge, the fact that industrialization of Bihar in terms of bringing industry, manufacturing and all of that, will that be the next promise, or will that be one of the first things that if it's a pro-incumbency vote that the incumbent will do? Just going across to the rut and then coming back. Griha is joining us.
Just one second, Anand, one second.
Just coming back. Yeah. So we've got Griha joining us. Griha is joining us. Griha is joining us from the live result hub. Let's go across to the live result hub. Poha, chai, everything served, all set for counting to get underway. Griha.
Absolutely, Anand. Good morning to you and good morning to everybody at CNN News 18 and all the people watching. This is the live result hub, the crown jewel of our net. To see the results first. And why do we say that? Because we have this dominated record of calling the elections first, and this is where you have seen it, and you can say that because no other network or channel can boast of such a facility. So right here you can see these are our volunteers who are sitting across at the live result hub. These are the phones that our reporters will call and in fact talk about when the first tally really starts to trickle in, when the first vote is cast and when the result gets announced. The first vote, that's where you see the call come in and it is then represented here, and that's how it gets seen on the broadcast. So it happens here first, and you can see our volunteers here spread across. The Battle of Bihar has begun, and as we all know, when it is about exit polls, it's very difficult to predict Bihar. So we have to rely on the ultimate source, and we have a network of reporters, a battery of reporters that are spread across all the constituencies, all the districts, and they continue to call here. The moment the first ballot is cast, the moment, I beg your pardon, the first result is announced, it gets seen here. And we will tell you first, because here's where...
Who is in charge?
I just also want to make the point, Griha, and you can weigh in on this as well. Other channels, from 8 o'clock, you're going to see them run away with the numbers. It'll go to 50, 100 within a few minutes. We're not doing that because we've got a reporter, a resource in every one of the 243 constituencies. Every single one of the 243 constituencies, they will be calling in to this live result hub, which will be fed into our system, and then it will automatically populate across
Absolutely,
all.
we verify it first. We verify it first before we show it on the big screen where you all are. And we don't want to run with the numbers, and we don't want to fill our screens. We want to rely on the absolute numbers, and that's what these representatives are sitting here for. And there you can see, this is how it is seen here. The moment the first vote is announced is when these things start ringing, and that's when it's seen on the screen.
The first leads. So what we'll see is the early leads that will come in, because our representatives, not just the constituencies but also posted at the counting centers, and from inside the counting centers we'll get information that will be relayed in real fast time, and it's going to be the same set of numbers across the network. That's what you would see even on connected TV, YouTube, as you're watching us live. Be rest assured that you will have the correct numbers here on CNN News 18. So now coming back to this conversation that we were having about the voter, the rural factor. Nalan, you wanted to make a point. Yeah, go ahead.
I was making a point that we have seen what the Mahila scheme did in Maharashtra and in Haryana. Now in Bihar, this is even much more important, because while Bihar's growth rate has been all right, it is much lower than than even the other Bimaru states. And Bihar is a state which has virtually got no private sector investment, just about $200 million of FDI last year. So in a state like that, but contrast that with the social sector spending. It's almost half of its revenue receipts are spent on social sector spending. Therefore, in a state like Bihar, this has a far more resonance than in more developed states like in Haryana or in Maharashtra.
So on the youth factor, everybody was talking about the youth factor. We looked at the top 10 districts in Bihar from where youth go away as migrant labor to other states, and we plotted that on the magic wall. It walks up to again about 100 seats, 97 out of 243. There too, in a close election like we saw in 2020, the NDA had almost 60 and the India Alliance had 40. So it's almost like a 2:3 ratio. The vote share gap is also about 1.5%, 1.4% or so, 1.5% or so. again, it comes back to who do they trust to solve this employment problem. Tejashwi, this is his second election where it's either against him or for him, the vote. And he's the young man, he's the challenger, he's the guy who's saying, I'll give you the jobs, or, 3 crore government jobs, so on. But I don't see evidence of that even with the youth vote.
Amidst all of this, we've been talking. Prashant Kishore. We've been talking about Tejashwi, we've talked about Nitish, we've talked about Prashant Kishore. With all this, it's amazing that we're not talking about Prime Minister Modi. We're not talking about the Modi factor, the fact that he actually was in Bihar when he said that Pahalgam will be avenged. It was in Bihar that he announced that we will not let them. So Operation Sindoor, and after Operation Sindoor, one of the first visits was back in Bihar where he said, listen, I said we will avenge it and this is what we have done. So that factor, jo kahega wo karke dikhayega, that trust factor. And is PM Modi's factor now just there, all encompassing, not right into the fore because it's an assembly election and you've realized that you need to have a local face in Bihar because Bihar's unique combination and Nitish being fulcrum to it. But can we forget PM Modi and can we forget the work the BJP Sangh is doing? This is their 100th year. So the Sangh would also want to return 100% score and they are going to be doing their work on ground. Not actively campaigning for the BJP but at least ensuring people come out to vote. Yes sir, yes.
Given the fact that the BJP and the JDU contested an equal number of seats, and if you look at the BJP campaign, its candidates campaign, the clear focus was on the Prime Minister's leadership. They kept on making the point that look at how BJP ruled states are functioning, look at how the center is doing things. We want to bring the same in the state. The JDU on the other hand focused on the chief minister. So that was a very interesting campaign. One focusing on the chief minister within the same alliance. One focusing on the chief minister, one focusing on the prime minister.
Right. And
So with the Prime Minister, I feel it's been 10 years. I think there is no longer a need for even the party to prove why you need a Modi-run government. Like, I think it is so established and it is so ingrained that that work is, absolutely not required anymore. And I think people of the country feel that as long as Prime Minister Modi is there, people feel
So this Modi hai to mumkin hai is now an established factor. It doesn't need to be established is what you're saying. So that's underlying.
It's a contributory factor. I think, if you look at Modi mandate in Bihar, it's little problematic in the same event of if there is an unexpected defeat. Would we say this is a defeat of Narendra Modi? No. It will be put at the doorstep of Nitish Kumar. He was too old.
But the factor of Modi remains. Even now the victory is with Nitish Kumar. The biggest champion and perhaps the tallest face that will emerge out of this result will be Nitish Kumar. Going across to Shivani. Shivani is joining us live from Patna, right outside the Bihar Assembly. Early start, Shivani. You got a great setup there. You got people around you. Over to you.
Thanks a lot for that. Good morning to all of you in the studios. I'm joining you from our studio outside the Bihar Legislative Assembly. Let me just show our viewers around the setup that we have here. A lot of our guests from local parties also joining us, and I'll get you the mood that is prevailing in Bihar first up. Here, everyone is talking about whether there can be any ruckus on ground because of the kind of warnings that the RJD has given. There is already greater security that has been put out. There is a message by the local administration to every person that if you see anything going wrong, if you have concerns, then dial our numbers. Don't take matters into your own hands. There is security that has been extended or increased around all of the polling station, all of the counting stations, 46 of them. Even outside the Chief Minister's residence, security has been increased. So that's the kind of staff that we're having here in Bihar. But through the day, we're going to get you all of the reactions that you need to hear as the pouring in. At AM, ballot boxes are going to be opened, but it's going to be postal ballots that are going to be counted first. There's been an ominous warning from RJD and Tejashwi Yadav saying that if the voting goes slow, if the counting goes slow, then they will suspect that something is going wrong. I have the RJD representative with me. ये जो RJD बार-बार बात कर रही है कि अगर काउंटिंग स्लो हो गई तो लोग सड़क पे आ जाएंगे, इसकी क्या जरूरत है?
देखिए, आपने देखा होगा 2020 के बिहार विधानसभा चुनाव में और काउंटिंग को स्लो कर दिया गया था 4 घंटे के लिए। जब देखा कि राष्ट्रीय जनता दल महागठबंधन की सरकार बनती नजर आ रही है, उनके पक्ष में जबरदस्त रुझान आ रहा है, एक सोची समझी साजिश के तहत शासनादेश के बल पर चुनाव आयोग ने इस तरह का खेला करने का काम किया, और जिसके कारण आप देखेंगे 2 दर्जन से अधिक राष्ट्रीय जनता दल महागठबंधन के उम्मीदवार चुनाव जीत चुके थे, उसे एक सोची समझी साजिश के तहत हराया गया, कहीं 12 वोट से, कहीं 100।
तो आज अगर आप कह रहे हैं कि आप रिजल्ट आपके मुताबिक नहीं आए तो क्या करेंगे आप?
नहीं, रिजल्ट देखिए, मेरा यही निवेदन है आपके चैनल के माध्यम से कि जो काउंटिंग प्रक्रिया है वो स्मूथली और पारदर्शी तरीके से हो।
ठीक है, so there is of course video monitoring that is going on, there is increased security that has also been established. BJP representative is also with me. एक तरह से आरजेडी का कहना है कि रिजल्ट, कल तेजस्वी का जो बयान आया, उन्होंने कहा हमारे लिए वोट हुआ है, लेकिन अगर हमें लगा कि काउंटिंग सही से नहीं हो रही है तो जनता अपने हाथ में लेगी मैटर्स को। तो आप इसको कैसे देखते हैं जो वार्निंग आई है?
देखिए,
वो 2020 के इलेक्शन को भी कह रहे हैं कि लूट लिया था बीजेपी ने और इस बार भी वही कोशिश होगी।
देखिए, उनका हताशा, निराशा है, क्योंकि चुनाव उनके पक्ष में हुआ नहीं। बिहार की जनता ने, 13 करोड़ जनता ने मोहर लगाया नीतीश कुमार जी के नेतृत्व को, देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व पे, जो हमने संकल्प लिया था लगातार, उस संकल्प है। और बिहार में विकास की गंगा बह रही है। आप बिहार कान से सुनने वाला बिहार नहीं रहा, आंख से देखने वाला बिहार हुआ। आप आए होंगे, पटना एयरपोर्ट देखा होगा।
नहीं तो अभी आज अगर काउंटिंग ये कह रहे हैं स्लो हुई तो क्या होगा? आपको क्या लगता है कि राजद के लोग क्या करने की कोशिश करें?
ये राहुल गांधी जी के भाई हैं।
हाँ।
ये मुद्दा खोज रहे हैं, चुनाव हार रहे हैं, मुद्दा खोज रहे हैं। कोई तो बहाना चाहिए, ठीकरा तो चाहिए किसी पे फोड़ने के लिए, इसीलिए ये लोग कर रहे हैं। इनके पास कोई मुद्दा ही नहीं था, ना नेता था, ना नियत था, ना निष्ठा था। लेकिन बिहार की जनता ने नेता नीतीश कुमार जी को माना, देश के प्रधानमंत्री को माना। एक बात और मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, प्रधानमंत्री का सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, सबका प्रयास, और बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री जी का निश्चय था पार्ट 1, पार्ट 2, पार्ट 3।
वो इलेक्शन देख लिया।
देखिए, मतगणना पारदर्शी होनी चाहिए।
क्यों नहीं होगी पारदर्शी? आप क्यों मानते हैं कि क्यों नहीं होगी पारदर्शी? जो रिजल्ट होगा आप मानेंगे या नहीं मानेंगे? अगर आरजेडी 5 सीट से पीछे रह जाती है तो आप मानेंगे या नहीं?
बता रहा हूँ, सीट अलग चीज है, जीत हार अपनी जगह है, लेकिन मतगणना पारदर्शी तरीके से होनी चाहिए। बिहार लोकतंत्र
आपके है ना अंदर।
अगर लोकतंत्र
Okay, Shivani, we'll come back to you as and when there's more developments there. I just want to, our guests here in the studio were talking about the Modi factor. If you look at it, again, we're looking at 2020 result. There's a much closer election. Modi had 90 constituencies that he covered in the rallies. I think 13 or 14 rallies he did in Bihar this time around. It adds up to about 94 constituencies. Something fascinating here, even though the NDA was ahead in all of those seats, 49 to 43 of the India Alliance, in vote share, it was the India Alliance which was more than the NDA. It was about less than, 0.5%, but it was still ahead in terms of vote share. And the reason for that is because the RJD's vote is a very concentrated vote. Even in the last time, this alliance that they had with the CPI-ML, particularly in southern Bihar and in central Bihar, that seemed to have clicked for them because it's a highly concentrated vote. The problem for the RJD is in the northern part of the state, what they call Mithilanchal, and of course here again in Simanchal where the election gets polarized because there's a higher percentage of Muslim population here. The BJP has done in what is called the north of the Ganga seats, whereas in the southern part of the state it was the RJD, CPI-ML, Congress alliance which did better. This time, will it be like this? Will it be different in any form or fashion? We'll have to wait and see.
But just go back to 2015 in the same set and see what was the NDA's vote share in 2015. If you were to look at 2015,
the India's vote share was 12% more, although the seats were neck and neck.
Seats were neck and neck,
but the vote share was substantially higher. But again, that's a different election because RJD and JDU were together in 2015. This time they are not.
This time they were not. So, because usually Pradhan Mantri goes to campaign in those seats which are tough. The tough seats is where he needs to rally up and get more votes and pull more votes. That's where the Pradhan Mantri's vote share is or votes are. So if in 2020 he was in these pockets, was it to take away a certain level of the RJD votes and continue to pull because these were tough seats? We have to wait and watch. We have to see how that works. Yes.
So, of course, in any state election, CM face and national leaders matter. Modi pulls up vote for the BJP and much more in national elections than state elections. And I think let's not just focus on Narendra Modi, we should also talk about Rahul Gandhi and the kind of discoordination.
We can look at Rahul Gandhi.
Yeah. Because see, the point is this, where whatever sort of discomfort the NDA alliance had, it was not public. Whereas the discomfort within the India alliance in Bihar was public in a way that they are fighting on 11 seats, what they call friendly fight. They took so much time to sort of like give symbols to the candidate that on the last day, like people didn't know who their candidate was going to be. And there was a fight who's going to be the CM face. Like, and Rahul Gandhi was there like 2 months before the sort of
and
like.
for a good 2 months he
and so
disappeared.
Rahul Gandhi and Tejashwi's campaign in that sense ran in some ways orthogonal, right? And
no,
that
and
also-
not just that, how could Mukesh Sahni of the VIP and announce him as the Deputy Chief Minister, and he just fell by the wayside during the campaign. You sidelined him totally. You just made him sit there and you benched him. You said you have a DCM face and you benched him. Why would you do something like that? That's a far greater insult.
Anand, on this Modi factor, Zaka, you know, looking at the numbers and the numbers that you showed for 2020, if you map them on the 2024 thing, elections, you will find that
Just hold on to the pictures. Action. Lalu Prasad Yadav is moving out of his house. Arun Singh is joining us with the details. Yes, Arun. Ji.
2024. But it's,
Arun, namaste.
I mean, the seats are.
Arunima is also with us. Arun, आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? लालू प्रसाद यादव अपने घर से निकले हैं. आवाज आ रही है आपको? All right, we go to Arun Singh in a bit. Arunima is also there. Arunima is at the JDU office where posters have been put up. So let's to Arun. Yes, Arunima.
So the Badhai poster is already up here. The counting, the postal ballot counting will begin in just a few minutes. But already, पूरे बिहार वासियों को हार्दिक बधाई. This poster has come up outside the JDU office, and if you pan a little bit, you see the policemen, the men and women in khaki, have also now started coming to the JDU office. Is this because the election commission-led administration is worried after all the threats that came in from the RJD? Even though RJD continues to say that it should be peaceful, but the spokesperson putting up a photograph in her hand, another spokesperson talking about 20,000 लोग पहुंचे हर काउंटिंग सेंटर पे. Is that the cause of worry? Because just a short while back there was no police deployment, but now police men and women are coming up. And why is JDU office the center of so much attention? Because of this another poster that has come up. This says Tiger Abhi Zinda Hai. This poster has become a talk of the town here, because this is like JDU's response to Tejashwi Yadav, who kept asking if Nitish Kumar is mentally agile, if he is physically fit, if he is in a position to continue to govern Bihar for the next 5 years. So Tiger Zinda Hai ya nahi, we'll know in about 15 minutes from now when counting begins. But JDU Karyakartas definitely are upbeat.
Poster wars have gotten underway. One says सावधान 20,000 कार्यकर्ता हर काउंटिंग सेंटर पर. The other one says बस कुछ घंटों का इंतजार, फिर से आएगी सुशासन सरकार. टाइगर अभी जिंदा है, बूढ़ा शेर और भी खतरनाक होता है. These are all conversations that are happening because jibes have been taken. बूढ़े हो गए हैं आप, आपसे नहीं हो पा रहा है. You can't have your fight. Mr. Lahbar, good morning. So, upping up the Mahila quotient in the studio. Fantastic.
Always a good thing.
Always a good thing. Always a good thing.
When this election is going to be decided by the M factor, then why not, right?
See, the MY also changes. No, Muslim Yadav to Mahila Yuva. Bihar का पूरा यही change हो जाएगा. Political lexicon will change. But how would you see Nitish Kumar, and what would you want to surmise at the end of these, as the dust settles in a few hours from now?
Well, this is the last election for the progeny of the JP movement. After this, I think 2030, I don't think we're going to see. It's going to be a completely different set cohort group of leaders who we are going to see in the fray. And as I said earlier also, many times on this on this set itself, this is an election where the people of Bihar had to decide whether or not they're going to give a nice little farewell into the sunset for Nitish Kumar or not. Because there were all sorts of speculations about his health and whether or not the BJP will now let him remain chief minister, will they change him mid-stride. So a lot will depend on how the sentiment of his voters, a very formidable constituency that he has built up, whether they will say no, we make one last stand for him, not just we will vote him back, we will give him a competitive score against his own ally, so that there is no question on the issue of chief ministership. So that is where the election actually.
So 5 minutes, JDU.
Just 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go before the counting
once again,
centers
for our
open.
viewers, first the election commission has put this out that they will be counting postal ballots. That's going to take time because that's physical. You have to count it physically, and then the EVMs open. So for the first half hour or so, you will see the postal ballots reflecting. So please be aware once again, the other channels that are going to be fudging their numbers in the first few minutes, please don't believe them. The real results from the live result hub here on CNN News 18. I want to just quickly add to this Nitish Kumar factor. In an election where he did badly last time around, where the JDU won just 43 seats, it was a number 4 party. There are 24 of those seats which the JDU has never lost in the last 3 elections. More than half of the seats that the JDU won last time in a bad election were those seats which they've never lost in the last 3 elections. So the JDU has a base from where they're starting off. And this time around, and remember last time it was Chirag Paswan who spoiled chances in about 30 seats, 32 seats is what he said. So if you add 32 and 43, he would have had 75 seats. He would have been the single largest party.
See, imagine in the NDA, outside of the JDU and the BJP, he has actually garnered a huge bulk of seats. You know, Ham Party and Jitan Ram Manji have been quite literally sidelined and said, "Jitna hai, utna mein aapka strike rate improve kariye." But for him to get 29 seats, does he really merit that? And will that be a test of the Paswan legacy and also Chirag Paswan? Because Pashupati Paras is now on the other side. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Because he is, in some ways, Chirag Paswan so far in assembly elections have not won seats in double digits. Right, last time he was an insurgent, before that he wasn't part of any coalition. So in some ways this would be a test case for him. Can he get seats in double digits? He's contesting 29. He does well in Lok Sabha elections, but that's mostly family members contesting, and then it's a national election where people are voting for Prime Minister Modi. It is being said that Chirag Paswan is really popular across Bihar. He has been called to campaign. Whether he can get his own party elected on sort of like sizable number of seats or not, that would be a
no. When he got 29 seats, I think more consternation inside the NDA than in the opposition. Many people in the NDA felt he didn't deserve 29 seats. We'll see how much he converts that.
You have 80 seconds to answer. 80 seconds. 80 seconds you have to answer.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, as I said
80
earlier,
seconds, you are starting the countdown.
As I
80
said
seconds.
earlier, this time India has actually fought as a really, united alliance.
Yeah.
BJP has put in money even where in the alliance seats, so, that may offset this 20.
JDU people in fact told me that in the run-up to the polls, even before the seat adjustment had been announced, they had a series of meetings from block to major rallies with the PM of all the NDA constituents. Those meetings, especially at the seat level, have really helped them,
Yeah,
so because there are a lot of
because Zaka in Bihar, Paswans basically collaborate. They don't assert. So there is a 19% Dalit vote there, but unlike Uttar Pradesh, there is no assertiveness, political assertiveness, and therefore this collaboration helps, and that results in the kind of seats that LGP is able to get.
Okay.
Right, another 35 seconds. Anybody wants to chip in? Yes.
We'll continue the Modi factor. There was an earlier number thing over there that he comes and campaigns on the tough seats. I think after Karnataka Assembly, there's been a change of thinking that overexposure is not required. There is an established trust, but where he campaigns, you can see a clear conversion of the Modi factor.
The one person whose campaign made a lot of dhamaka with Appu Pappu Tappu, that we have not even spoken about. That was Yogi. The impact that Yogi's campaign, because he came late in and it was a huge cameo. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there you go. It's 8 a.m. Counting will get underway as the counting centers will be open. Counting begins on Result Day Live, Bihar 2025. Which way will the voter cast their mandate and give their mandate to? Will it be pro-incumbency, massive pro-incumbency vote for Sushasan Babu, Nitish Kumar, or will it be time for change, Badlav ki Sarkar and Tejashwi coming to the fore, emerging out of the shadows of Lalu Prasad Yadav? We'll have to wait and watch, but it's a big fight. It's two big Gathbandhans, the NDA and the MGB. The two national parties are going to play.
So we should have breaking saying counting has begun. Counting has begun, and again it will be the postal ballot for about the first half an hour or so, and then the EVMs are desealed. But counting has officially begun, ladies and gentlemen, for these 243 constituencies. Is it NDA? Is it India Alliance? Counting has officially begun. Let's have that breaking story.
The counting begins for the Bihar verdict. We've got the breaking up and it's a matter of time. The first 20 minutes to half an hour will be postal ballots, so you will see early leads, but those early leads are postal ballots. They'll be manually counted. It's when the EVM boxes open at the counting centers, that's when the results will start trickling in. Griha is ready at the live result hub. We'll go to her the moment we have the first set of leads coming in. Quickly going to Pallavi. How many counting centers and where will the focus be? Pallavi.
Well, I'm still right over here at the Sheikhpura house, and the Prashant Kishore team is already in place. They are just going to wait figures to start coming in, and as you pointed out, the postal ballot in any case is the first round to go. But I would look at this election and the counting really, Anand, as a high stakes for everyone, but naturally for the CM already, Nitish Kumar, many people would dismiss him off as being not in good health, at least his opponents did. I think the sense I get on the ground, of course, is that he's likely to do even better than before. That anger which people are talking about was certainly missing. It's not a wave election, so in that sense, I think his campaign style has been very mellow, very mature and extremely stable. But at the same time being very assertive. For the BJP, of course, they've thrown their top talents out all. That's the way they do
There must be something that you know that we don't, Pallavi, that you're still at Jansuraj party, because and that Prashant Kishore, will he step out to say that the Jansuraj got a certain percentage of vote but no seats at all? He's not playing kingmaker. What way the results? The pollsters haven't given him the king.
No, they are not. They in fact said that he'll get anywhere between 0 to 2 seats, which for someone who is making a splash, I think is quite subpar. But Griha is joining us from the live result hub. Where are we expecting the first leads to come from, Griha?
Result hub.
Where are we expecting the first leads to come from, and by when?
Is that for me, Zaka?
Yeah, which region, which part of Bihar are you expecting the first leads to come from?
We will get that word in from Hemanji here, because the result hub has started buzzing, because we have got to know that the postal ballots will be announced very, very soon. Hemanji, सबसे पहले कहाँ से रुझान आने की उम्मीद है?
देखिए, सबसे पहले रुझान जो हम देख रहे हैं कि पटना से जो रिपोर्टर ने कॉल किया था कि वहाँ पे बोला कि हम पोस्टल बैलेट काउंट स्टार्ट करेंगे, वी विल स्टार्ट द पोस्टल, बट वी आर जस्ट वेटिंग. We have the two team is monitoring about the postal ballot. So we have made the two begin with either through SMS or phone call. We'll get the first result. So if we get the phone call, the phone will buzz here.
How many counting
SMS,
centers have been set up this time? There were 90,000 polling booths. Great, just asking how many counting centers?
I am thinking the 5-10 minutes.
Hemanji, how many? 46 counting centers?
We have the 46 counting centers. After 38 districts, we have the 46 of the counting centers. We have deported 100 members in the counting center. Here we have the 50. Altogether, you can say the 150 members are there to give the right result.
So 150 members there, end-to-end data that will be collated and it will be fed here, and that's when you see it on the screen. So like Zaka, you were mentioning, it is not going to be fudging of numbers. We are not going to be trying to go first on this. The moment we see the first authentic leads come in from those counting centers, as our reporters call our representatives here at the live result hub, is when we see the numbers on screen.
Absolutely. 46 counting centers, viewers. 46 counting centers. The counting centers open at 8. Then they go in and then they will start counting the postal ballots. There are 150 of our members at these 46 counting centers who will be getting us these results. So the moment you see the leads starting to trickle in here, that means the leads have really started coming in, because that's where we are getting this live right from the source back into our live result hub and then across the network. Arun Dhanta is with us from the BJP office in Patna. Arun, are you the only person now, or have you done breakfast and are the Karyakartas already there? You are the first person at the BJP Karyalaya this morning.
Well, Anand, as counting gets underway here in the BJP office, preparations have also started. We are inside one of the tents which they have made, and in fact you can see right behind me, chairs have been placed and there is a screen also. In a few minutes from now, they will of course be starting this television screen, and you see these chairs will be filled up on that side also. Dishes are being cleaned by, as we were discussing earlier, that the people will come here to really start preparing for the breakfast and the sweets also. I can also smell something is cooking on the other side. We'll give you that scene also, what is happening at the back of the BJP office. This is the place where you will see all the food is being cooked and mithais, etc. For all those people who will be coming here in a short while from now, you can see. I'll request my camera person Pramod Saklani to just go there and show what exactly is happening. Yes, so I mean they've started cooking. They've started. The preparations are done. Food is being cooked here. So in a short while from now, you will see. क्या बना रहे हैं, क्या बन रहा है
सर? अभी तो चाय चल रहा है सुबह से, फिर नाश्ता में घुगनी, चूड़ा फ्राई।
अरे वाह जी, आज जिस तरह से जो भाजपा के लोग चाय घुगनी चूड़ा जीतने का जश्न के तैयार है, तो आप लोग क्या कर रहे हैं?
हाँ सर, जीतने की तैयारी में लगे हैं। खाना मिठाई सब बन रहा है यहाँ तो, जगह अलग अलग बन रहा है, बहुत जगह से बन के भी आ रहा है मिठाई
जी। मिठाई बनाने का बोला गया है
तो ज्यादा ऑर्डर है, कोई गिनती नहीं है मिठाई का कि कितना बनेगा, बहुत ज्यादा ही ऑर्डर है, हो चुका है मिठाई का।
Lots of orders, lots of cooking. Chai, gugni, chura, that's a traditional Bihar breakfast. On the one side there is pakode and samosa being made. There's a lot that's on store, and who will savor not just the food but also the sweet taste of victory, viewers. That's where we are going to focus on. Tejashwi has also spoken again. Let's listen in.
हम लोगों की जीत होने वाली है। बाहर चलिए, हम लोग जीत रहे हैं। बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप लोगों को। बदलाव होगा, बदलाव होगा, बदलाव होने जा रहा है, बदलाव होने जा रहा है। चलिए, सरकार बना रहे हैं।
चलिए, हम लोग जीत रहे हैं, बदलाव होगा, बदलाव होगा, सरकार बना रहे हैं। टोनुआ थोड़ा ऑफ लग रहा है। नहीं, आपको नहीं लगा? You didn't feel the tone is a little off.
I think he's speaking from inside the car and too many mics.
No, the confidence level, the way you would, or you think, is this convincing? Is this the Tejashwi that we know?
I wouldn't read too much into it. It's early in the morning. He has campaigned for a month. He must be tired. So yeah, let's wait.
Why is it that suddenly everybody has that
as much his election in the sense that this is the second time that he's going to be the face, the challenger, the one who wants to de-seat.
It's much more his election than Nitish Kumar.
Perhaps. Yeah. I mean, in Nitish's case, it's probably his last election. Yeah. Whereas in Tejashwi's case, after this election, and if he doesn't win, a question is going to be asked. I mean, are you the face? Are you the one who is going to be the challenger to, dethrone?
There's one more thing that doesn't happen. Zaka, you look at life of Rahul Gandhi.
No, that's an exception.
No, I think in all political parties, you look at Akali Dal, you look at DMK,
First set of leads. NDA has 2 leads already. Griha, yes.
You have the first lead, Dhirendra Pratap Singh. This is from the Valmiki Nagar constituency, where this lead is coming in from JDU, the first lead.
All right, Valmiki Nagar is in the West Champaran district. It's up north. Again, these are places where there's a lot of migrant labor. So, yeah, there's a second one that's come.
BJP, Lorry.
Neighboring constituency, I think it's the BJP candidate. So 2 leads to the BJP so far. So 2 leads to the NDA so far, 1 to the JDU and 1 to the BJP, both from the West Champaran district. And remember, lots of migrant labor, lots of this again went to polls in the second phase where women outnumbered men quite a bit. So we'll see.
The migrant youth also in the past have favored the NDA over the RJD despite the issues that have been raised. You've called that out. There is one reason why there was silence when I asked ye Tonua thoda theek nahi lag raha hai. This is because the ghosts of 2015 continue to haunt.
Yes. No.
Look at Abhijit Majumdar, the ghosts of 2015 continue to haunt. Where in studios everybody called election at 9 a.m. and the results change at 11:30. That's what happened.
No, that was a different channel you're talking about, and let me tell you, I have a picture. In fact, I was on your Hindi channel in 2015. I was sitting, Badri Narayan was sitting next to me, and suddenly some other channel called it. and your anchor actually put a stop to it. He said, we are not doing anything like that, we're just waiting.
Yeah, we have more leads. I think we're about 5 or 6 leads now. Griha has more. Yes, Griha. Where?
Alright, so we only see BJP and JDU right now, Zaka. Sapol, Bijendra Prasad Yadav from JDU, and there is Rajnagar, Sujit Kumar from BJP who is leading. As we speak, more and more leads are coming in, and it's all JDU, BJP that we see. BJP, Sapol, it is, and now we have another RJD lead. This is the first one that's coming in for RJD. That's Saud Alam from Thakurganj, who is leading.
So not surprisingly, the first lead for RJD coming from the Simachal region. This is, of course, like I said,
again,
a couple of other leads, one from Congress. That's coming in again. All of this is in the Simachal region, which, like I said, there is a higher proportion of Muslim population there. There was higher voter turnout as well. Last time, MIM was a big factor in Simachal. He got 5 MLAs. All 5 of them switched over to the RJD. This time around, it seems like the Muslim vote is consolidating in favor of
the early trends also showing that the JDU is emerging, has taken a march, in terms of the single largest party as of now. 6 leads for the JDU. Griha is back with us. Yes, Griha, more.
One more for the BJP and JDU, and there's one for LJP. So from Kasba, we have an LJP candidate who is leading right now. The leads are coming in fast now, Anand. From Digha, it's Sanjeev Chaurasia. From the there is Fulwari, Sham Rajak, JDU, who's leading. From Banki Nagar, there is another candidate who's leading. So right now, the first lead for LJP is also coming from Kasba. Nitish Kumar Singh leading. So many leads to start. A first Congress, in fact, the second Congress lead that has been announced, Manohar Prasad Singh of the Congress from Manihari is leading. And there is
catching up, INDIA catching up. Now just a 5-seat gap between the NDA and the INDIA, 8 and 13. That's the score as of now.
The thing to watch out for is this plus minus. I mean, they were 125 the NDA last time around. They're already gaining 3, now gaining 4. And the India Alliance is down 3. They were 115 last time, so down 3. So keep an eye out for, who's gaining, who's losing. Now again, it's increased 14-9.
14-9, and these are trends. These are early trends. These are early trends that are being dictated by the postal ballot counting viewers. But we are getting you the numbers as we are getting it relayed from our counting centers, and that's why trust these numbers at the bottom of your screen. 15-10, a gap of 5 opened up by the NDA. RJD on 7 seats. Within the NDA, it's the JDU that is still in a march, and it's actually leading. Now the BJP is now gone in ahead. 7 and 6 within the NDA. Some seats for the other partners
again,
also.
12 leads to the India Alliance. If you look at the breakup there, the Congress has 2, the RJD has 9. So RJD doing a bulk of the heavy lifting as far as the India Alliance is concerned. As far as the NDA is concerned, it's neck and neck right now between the BJP and the JDU. The BJP has 7, the JDU has 6, LJP 1. We will see how this plays out through the course of the day. I think one thing is very, very clear. The southern seats, RJD doing better in the southern part of the state. Some openings in the eastern part in Simachal, whereas in the rest of the state, it seems to be a BJP-JDU show, at least in the first 20
the trends
seats
coming from all across yes. phase 1 and phase 2 if you were to see.
Yes, these were the phase 1 seats. Up in the north were the phase 2 seats, and we're getting to see from different regions. We're getting from the Champaran side, we're getting from the Simachal side, we're getting from the Magad side as well. So it's kind of getting populated across the length and breadth of Bihar from different regions. Yes, Griha has more. Yes.
Tejashwi Yadav.
Yeah, go ahead, Griha.
Okay, it's Tejashwi who's leading from Raghopur. So the bastion right now is being maintained because investing that. RJD has many leads right now. Anand is from what we are seeing. There is one for JSP that's coming. BJP again, Prem Kumar from Gaya town, he is leading. So BJP is leading there. So far Tejashwi is maintaining the lead as far as Raghopur is concerned.
Jan Suraj on the leaderboard in terms of trends and leads. LJP on the leaderboard in terms of trends and leads. 18 to the NDA, 15 to the INDIA. The early trends show that it could be quite close. Everybody is playing catch up with the other. but the results are plotting all across. And there's a reason why you can trust these numbers, viewers, because it's plotting on the map live. You can see it.
Yes.
It's plotting as we are telling you the leads. Whatever you're seeing at the bottom of your screen, it's plotting as per the party across the various constituencies in the region. So the Bihar map plotted across, and the constituency numbers, if you can zoom in close, you'll see the constituency numbers as Jaka showing it on the wall.
Neck right now. It's 24 to the NDA, India Alliance at 15, but you get a feeling that the NDA is slightly pulling ahead, and there in the NDA too, if you look at the breakup between the BJP and the JDU, neck and neck, BJP at 11, JDU at 11, and I think this is going to be another sub-story as well. But just now, as we get to 40 seats out of 243, you see the NDA pulling away, because a lot of the central Bihar seats, which are the JDU stronghold seats, are now beginning to report. RJD, again, a bulk of its leads seem to be in the southern part of Bihar, some constituencies in Simanchal, but the rest of the state, as I keep saying, the NDA seems to be pulling away. So as these parts of Mithilanchal start populating, these parts of Bhojpur start populating, you will see much more NDA leads. NDA now pulling away, it's almost 30 to 15, so they're going in a 2:1 sort of a ratio.
has a lead.
Right, just one lead. That's why it's on the leaderboard. I said Jansuraj is on the leaderboard, but 29 leads for the NDA. Let's look at the key race alerts. One of the key race alerts. Okay, we've got this. This is one of the reasons why we wanted it to be plotted here to my right. The magic wall. We've really brought it up so that you can zoom in and you can see that as the plotting happens, it's happening per constituency. Each of these constituencies, get in closer, show it to our viewers that on the magic wall, each of these constituencies are numbered. The constituency number is being plotted based on the color legend for the political party. So the dark blue is for the Congress party, the purple is for the RJD, the green is for the JDU, the saffron of course is for the BJP. Then there are color codes for the Jan Suraj party and the Lok Jan Shakti party. So according to their color codes and the legends that you're seeing at the bottom of your screen, they are being plotted live on the Bihar map as per the constituency, and that's why you can trust these numbers, viewers. Zaka's got more numbers
Absolutely, it's now pulling away much more decisively in favor of the NDA. NDA at 32, India Alliance at 20, again gain of 8. So from 125, they're already looking at 130 plus for the NDA. Again, if you look at the breakup, it's neck and neck last time I checked. Now the BJP slightly ahead, 15 to the BJP, JDU 13. Remember, they're both fighting exactly the same number of seats, 101 each. Let's look at the breakup of the India Alliance. There it's the RJD that's doing the heavy lifting. RJD was fighting in 140 seats. The Congress fighting in 61 seats. Congress got 3 leads. CPIML in 1. VIP has not opened its account yet. The Jan Suraj has 2 leads now. This is again very interesting. It's early leads. If the Jan Suraj gets 2, 3, 5 seats, then who will he hurt? Will he hurt NDA more? Will he hurt the India Alliance more? Right now we're seeing across all regions of Bihar, we are seeing slowly but surely more and more leads populating.
From Alinagar, Darbhanga district, Maithili Thakur is leading. From Raghopur, Tejashwi Yadav is leading. From Mokama, Anand Singh is leading. So these are the leads. Raghopur, Tejashwi Yadav, Maithili Thakur from Alinagar, 25-year-old, contesting for the first time, and she believes she'll have the people's blessings. Anant Kumar Singh, so much drama. Jail tod ke aayega, sher hamara aayega. That's the whole conversation and posters being put out for Anand Singh. Bijendra Prasad Yadav from Supal is leading of the JDU. He is also leading. So these are the early key race alerts. And then we've got Nitin Nabin from Bankipur. He is also leading of the BJP. Again, Ram Kirpal Yadav, Danapur, again leading of the BJP. Many key race alerts that are coming through. Samrat Chaudhary from Tarapur is also holding on, and he is leading as for the early trends on the postal ballots. So these are some of the key race alerts that we are getting, showing to our viewers.
I think Griha has more.
Griha got more. Yes, let's go across to Griha. Yes, Griha.
You mentioned Samrat Chaudhary. We also have Chotilal Rai from the JDU, who is leading in Parsa. There's also Chandni Devi from RJD, Baniapur. She is leading. The star candidate Maithili Thakur from Alinagar, like you mentioned, is leading there, Anand. We also are seeing Congress back on the leaderboard, as you have the early leads coming in from Kishanganj. Kamrul Huda is leading from the Congress. There is another one from the Congress, Amita Bhushan from Begusarai, who's leading. Otherwise, it is the allies, CPIM, you can see.
All right, let's bring it back into the studio. You can see here on the map, 65 seats now reporting. The NDA almost 40, the India Alliance at 24. So we're going in a almost 1:2 kind of a ratio, where the NDA seems to be getting from across regions, from the northern part of the state, from the central part of the state, which is of course the stronghold of the JDU. As far as the RJD is concerned, it is doing the heavy lifting for the India Alliance. If you look at the breakup of the 24 leads where they're currently leading, the RJD is leading in 18, the Congress only in 4. So the RJD is pulling a bulk of that alliance, whereas in the in NDA alliance, it is even Stevens between the BJP and the JDU. BJP at 18, the JDU at 16. The LJP has also opened its account in 4 seats, 4 leads for the LJP, the harm in 2 seats.
Left also gets onto the leaderboard, 2 leads for the left. As we see, 41 leads for the NDA, 41 leads for the NDA. Look at the bottom of the screen, that's being updated live. This will have the one to my left will have to be refreshed a bit, but at the bottom of the screen, that's when the numbers are getting updated like they are reflecting on the magic wall. Yes,
It may be a little early, but if you start looking at the filter, look at the Mahila factor there. Again, there the NDA is leading in that at this point, in whatever we can make of it at this point.
Clearly, of the 24 of those seats, 16 to 8. So it's a 2:3. It's a 2:3 kind of a ratio. But let's look at the big picture. Almost 70 seats now reporting. NDA at 41, India Alliance at 25. The NDA seats again 18 to 16. The BJP, the JDU is doing catch up. Remember, the JDU was at its lowest tally last time around, just 43. The BJP neck and neck at 18, slightly ahead. Whereas in the India Alliance, and this has always been a problem, we were flagging this off even during the campaign, that it's the RJD that is having to do much of the heavy lifting. It contested 143 seats, 20 of those they are leading in currently. The Congress only 4 out of the 61. CPI-ML, CPM 1 seat each. Remember, the left parties last time around, I think, put together had about 15 seats, which was again a substantial chunk.
Number.
This time, I suspect it might be lesser than that. We'll see. We'll see how it.
But the left seems to be pulling its weight more than the Congress is even again. So it's weaker. It's looking. Congress is actually looking weaker despite all these rallies. So was someone barking up the wrong tree in terms of the real issue on ground? We'll have to wait. These are just trends.
The seat, the party, there seems to be a very close race between the RJD, the JDU and the BJP. They have a similar number of seats where they have the lead. The difference is coming because in the India Alliance, it's only the RJD which is taking the alliance forward, whereas in the NDA, both the BJP and the JDU are doing well. So that's contributing to this huge difference.
Yeah, there is. It is very clearly there is a Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli kind of a combination which are batting in partnership within the NDA, and we could see that the BJP for some time was the single largest party. The RJD might just have taken that lead as with 21 leads overall. The BJP is at 20 leads, so the RJD currently is the single largest party. JDU playing catch up, 20, 19, 21. Not much separates these 3 parties, and is it between these 3 and the rest are just sitting marginalized? That's what it looks like right now.
78 seats are reporting now out of 243. NDA with a runaway lead, 46. Remember, this will get closer. This will get closer for the next couple of hours or so. NDA with 46. You look at the breakup there. The JDU is now leading the BJP. The JDU at 21, the BJP at 20. It's neck and neck. LJP has opened its account with 3, Harm with 2, and Mr. Kushwaha's party leading in 2. In the India Alliance, it's the other way around because it's the RJD that is doing the heavy lifting. Yes, Griha, walk us through. Yes.
We have the RJD candidate Mukesh Ranjan who is leading. So that is the big update that's coming in. So from Mahua, there's the RJD lead that has come in. Bijendra Chaudhary from Muzaffarpur. This was where the first ballots were started to be counted, Zaka. Bijendra Chaudhary right now from Congress is leading. From Mahua, it's become important because it's Mukesh Ranjan from the RJD. If we see further, from Betia, it's Renu Devi of the Bharatiya Janata Party who is leading currently. Raniganj, it's Ashmit Rashi Devi from JDU. So it's JDU and BJP right now taking the lead there. But important update that's coming in from...
Tej Pratap is trailing. Also, can you tell me, Griha, which are the constituency numbers of the JSP seats? Which are the 2 seats where Prashant Kishore's party seems to be leading currently?
Just give us the...
All right, right now 84 seats reporting, 53 to the NDA, 29 to the India Alliance. And again, I keep going back. If you look at the map, the southern seats, the RJD seems to be doing okay. Yes, the CPI and the CPI-ML did particularly well last time around. They are not doing as well this time. The JDU, which was the laggard last time around, is doing phenomenally well. In fact, it is neck and neck, if not slightly ahead. In fact, the JDU is one ahead of the BJP, 24 to JDU, 23 to the BJP. So the JDU is really pulling this alliance ahead, something it could not do last time around. The India alliance, the opposite story, like I keep saying, it is purely on the back of the RJD. 20 leads to the RJD, only 6 to the Congress, and the CPI-ML, CPI, CPM in 1 lead each. Again, the left will have a role to play. Last time they did add extra weight as far as the India alliance is concerned. Look at the breakup of the NDA. The JDU again running away. The JDU has 25. The BJP has 24. Remember, 24 out of this 25, the JDU has not lost in the last 3 elections. The BJP currently leading in 24. So all of the NDA alliance partners have opened their account, and pretty healthy sort of start. The LJP, remember, had only 1 seat last time around. He had fought in more than 100 constituencies. This time he's already got 3 leads.
Yeah, but 3 out of 29 in terms of the overall seats that they have. This time they have candidates, and about 85 candidates of the LJP are in the fray, if my memory serves me right. Interestingly, the most number of crorpatis who are contesting are from the RJD. In this overall lot, and about 40%, nearly 1,016 out of the 2,300 and odd candidates are all crorpatis. So the maximum number of crorpatis are contesting from the RJD and also from others or independent groups. So quite interesting, these numbers, and also most number of criminal cases in terms of, that's also a hefty number in the high 30s in terms of the number of people who've got criminal cases against them, and some of them serious criminal cases. Nearly 600 candidates have serious criminal charges against them, who are all in the fray this time. Who will the Janata vote for? We have to wait and watch. Some key race alerts. Let's quickly look at some key race alerts. Who is leading, who is not leading at this point. We'll call this out here. Just pull the magic wall out and then have a look. There you go. Amrendra Kumar Pandey from Kuchai Kot, he is leading. Anant Kumar Singh, Bokama, JDU is leading. Lalan Singh was campaigning for him when Anant Kumar was sent to judicial custody. Vijendra Prasad Yadav of the JDU leading. Deepa Kumari of Haham Party from Imamganj is the SC seat. She is winning. Maithili Thakur from Ali and Yuva. Now, so and she is in the lead. Nitin Nabin, BJP is in the lead. Tejashwi Yadav is leading. Ram Kirpal Yadav is leading. Ram Kirpal Yadav from the BJP this time, Danapur, and he is leading. Tejashwi Prasad Yadav, RJD, Raghopur leading. Last time around, they have lost the seat in the past, but there you go. Tej Pratap Yadav is trailing from Mahua. So Rabri Devi's calls to say कि बड़का बेटा को भी जिताइए. Well, is that working or not? We have to wait and watch. These are still trends. Postal ballots, EVMs have not yet opened. Vinay Bihari is leading. Samrat Chaudhary is leading from Tarapur of the BJP. He is leading. So a lot of the candidates who are in the fray, the big names, they are all taking leads and also leading from their own respective seats, except for Tej Pratap Yadav. Yes.
Look at the map, and I think suddenly the JDU is really sort of opening this up. Look at the central part of the state, which is of course a JDU stronghold, and of course the northern part, which is the BJP and JDU stronghold, the Mithilanchal and the central parts. This is where they're taking their leads. Let me just bring you up to speed with what the breakup is looking like with the NDA. Look at that. The BJP at 29, the JDU at 27. The LJP has also opened its account in 4 seats. So both of these allies are really pulling their weight. And if you look at it, the JDU in the central part of the state and some northern seats as well. The BJP, of course, has always done well in Mithilanchal as well as in the Champaran districts. Whereas if you look at the India alliance, the problem for the India alliance continues. It is the RJD that is pulling the weight of this alliance. 27 leads for the RJD, only 6 for the Congress. The left parties put together about 5 seats. VIP has not opened his account yet. Remember, he is the deputy chief ministerial face. He's not opened his account yet, and I think that's a problem for the India alliance. The smaller partners are not pulling their weight.
A quick point, I mean, to add to what you were saying, some of these seats where JDU is opening up, these are seats it did not win last time. Like
absolutely.
On the northeast corner of the state, on the eastern side, there are several seats here which at this point are gains for JDU.
So if you look at the JDU seats, again, they're winning across, the regions of the state. Of course, the central part and the eastern part, like I said, Trihut and the central part are always their strongholds, but they're also got a couple of leads up west in the Champarans. They've got one lead here in the Simanchal region as well. Of course, these are leads. These are leads. We have to wait and see how that plays out. But right now, it's the NDA at 68 and the India Alliance at 41.
So they are stealing a march, and they have not even come to the halfway mark of the postal ballots being counted across the seats. Viewers, 111 seats as far as the leads and trends coming in. The NDA is already at 68 with the BJP at 30, leading in 30 seats, the JDU in 29, so neck and neck, both of them, I know, having a great strike rate and a run rate in terms of the way these two parties have combined within the NDA. Look at the leads as far as the INDIA is concerned, and in the INDIA, there seems to be trouble because the only person pulling their weight or perhaps running this entire cart, pushing this cart, is the RJD with 28 seats. So it's just the number third party behind JDU and the BJP. But their own partner, Congress, is not pulling its weight. The left seems to be doing better than the Congress as of now. Congress is leading at 9, the left is leading in 6. Congress contesting far greater number of seats than the left overall. Yeah.
If you look at the RJD seats, a good number of the seats are here in the southern part of the state. We're looking at the Magad sort of region, central south. And you've got a couple of seats for the allies here in Simanchal, which I keep saying is the sort of polarized, let's say, where polarization works. You've got a couple of seats for the RJD here in the central west part of the state, again just west of the Mithilanchal region. So whether or not these leads hold, we don't know, but the numbers here tell a very, very clear story. It's the RJD almost 30, the Congress only 9, the left parties between them 6 seats, but it's RJD that's pulling a bulk of the weight as far as this alliance is concerned. The opposite story in the NDA, where it's neck and neck between the BJP and the JDU, both of them at 30 seats each. The JDU is really opening this up. In a bit, we'll show you this map compared to 2020. In 2020, the JDU had just a few pockets here in the central part of the state. Now they're opening up in the northern part of the state, in the western part of the state, and a few seats here in Simanchal as well, which you did not see in 2020.
Right. So viewers, you see this is the 2025 Vidhan Sabha that he's plotted. Now this is the overall 2025 Vidhan Sabha map as it is plotting with respect to the leads, and Zaka is just saying that look at the number of light greens. If you look at the number of light greens, that's the JDU's symbol. The JDU right now is spread across the Bihar map. This was not the case in 2020. We'll come to the 2020 map. Right now, keep your eyes on the light green color. Focus on the JDU. They are spread across Bihar from the top, north come to central Bihar, downwards towards South Bihar. You see the map. Now Zaka is going to call out the 2020 and you would see where the JDU was. The JDU was there in far lesser number of seats, the light green. So clearly this time it's the JDU. Now there you see. That's the 2020 number and you see where the JDU is. The JDU is plotting.
These were here. They didn't have anything in Simanchal. They had just a couple here. They didn't have anything, in the other parts of the state, in the Mithilanchal region as it were. A bulk of their seats were here. But if you look at the 2025 map now, and once it gets populated, you will get a better sense. Look at the various regions they're getting. They got a couple of seats here. They got a whole bunch of seats here in this Mithilanchal part. Central seats anyway are their stronghold, and they've got, I think, 4 seats here in Simanchal, which they did not have last time around. 125 reporting. Let's look at what it is right now.
We'll just go across to Bihar. Right at the top of our screens, you will see the halfway mark, viewers. You will see the halfway mark, the race to the halfway mark, right at the top of our screen. Is really racing towards that halfway number of 124. They are getting there faster than the INDIA. At the moment they are at 72. They have to get up to 124 first past the halfway mark. Will it be INDIA? Will it be the NDA? Griha now joining us from the live result hub with the VVIP candidates. What's the story? Yes, Griha.
Absolutely, Anand. But before I do that, let me also give you a district-wise tally. So far, we are learning that the early leads that have come, the max. Also from Muzaffarpur, we are getting leads where the maximum amount of ballots right now are being shown to us, and also Samastipur. So these are the areas where, and Begusarai as well, these are the areas where the early leads are coming in. As far as the VVIP candidates are concerned, Anand, we do see Maithili Thakur, who is maintaining that lead from BJP from Ali Nagar. There's also the controversial candidate Anand Kumar Singh from JDU from Mukama. He's also maintaining the lead. Danapur, again it's BJP. Ram Kripal Yadav maintaining the lead. Tejashwi Prasad, obviously from Raghopur, the RJD bastion is right now safe with Tejashwi as the lead is maintained. Then we also see from Mahua, like we've been talking about, Mukesh Kumar from RJD is maintaining that lead. And if we see Sarai Ranjan, Vijay Kumar Chaudhary from JDU maintains. Sheila Kumari from JDU from Pool Paras is maintaining the lead again, and Vijendra Yadav from JDU from Sapol maintains the lead. Betia again, it's BJP, Renu Devi maintaining the lead. So the female candidates are doing it for the NDA as far as they are concerned, because both Metli and Renu Devi are leading.
All right, Griha, look at the magic wall and we can project it on that big screen as well. 125 seats reporting right now. NDA at 76. It's a plus 14. Always pay attention to this figure. It's now gone plus 15. Remember, they were 125 last time. They're already looking at 140. If these trends hold. Look at the breakup of the NDA alliance. It's neck and neck between the BJP and the JDU. In fact, the JDU is now leading in 34 and the BJP in 32. This could be a sub-story in this election if the JDU becomes the single largest party. The LJP at 5, the RLM, Kushwaha's party at 4, Ham at 2 seats. These two parties were not happy with the fact that Chirag Paswan got 29 seats. In the India Alliance, opposite story. Look at the map. It's all purple. Purple is the color that we've given for the RJD. 32 leads for the RJD. The Congress only 9. The left parties between CPML, CPM and CPI, 6 seats they're leading in. They had 15 last time. The question is, can the RJD pull enough weight to take the rest of the alliance going forward, because the smaller partners are not pulling their weight in the NDA. Yes,
9 seats of the Congress party right now, the leads. Now look at where they are leading. It's parts of the Seemanchal and from the corners. That's where the Congress is actually leading, but it's not plotting as thickly as it should, given the number of seats that it is contesting. That means the only person that is pulling its weight and actually doing the batting for the INDIA right now is the RJD with 32 leads, and 32 leads mirror what, and it's neck and neck with the BJP and the with the JDU. So you've got two strong partners on one side within the NDA and a third one who's batting hard but is on the opposite side, that is the RJD. Most importantly, like Zaka's been saying, the story, viewers, is the performance of the JDU, the strike rate of the JDU. The moment the strike rate of the JDU goes up and the BJP holds on to its own seats or its performance from the last time, then the margin will be far greater than 124 seats or 125 seats that the JDU and NDA combined got last time. They will get to the 140, 150 number, and if this trend holds, then the NDA could just race away and this matter would be settled beyond doubt.
Oh, absolutely. I just want to also flag off two regions that are still not reporting. Just south of Magad, we don't have much seats reporting here, and also in this western part, just west of Bhojpur, we aren't getting as many reportings from these places. But in the other regions, and I want to flag this off again, look at the JDU colors. It's there in the northern part where they generally don't tend to do well. You've got a bunch of seats here up in the Champarans and again in the southern part. You did not see this in the 2020 map. You even have about 3 or 4 seats that they're leading in Seemanchal. It may change by the end of the day, I don't know, but you didn't see this in the 2020 map. The JDU is present, pockets of green across various regions of Bihar, and I think that is the difference in this election. That seems to be...
Supporters of the JDU, take a snapshot of this. Take a snapshot of this. 136 leads and the JDU is there right up with 34, single largest party at the moment, just behind the BJP. 84 leads for the NDA, 49 for the INDIA. Yes, Griha is joining us on the live.
We have a word in on Kesari, RJD star candidate. He right now is trailing Anand. Choti Kumari of the BJP is right now leading from Chhapra. So the VIP candidate for RJD is not working. Kesari Shatrughan Yadav is right now trailing from Chhapra is what we are getting in, and it's Choti Kumari of the Bharatiya Janata Party who is leading from Chhapra.
Shatrughan is not living up to his name as of now. But that's all as of now. These are all trends. These are all trends. These are all moments that people would have to say, savor on, and some would hope these trends stay. Others would hope that they get reversed.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I was just pointing out that you seem to be haunted also by the ghosts of 2015.
No, I'm not.
But early trends, what do you make of it?
The EVMs have not yet opened. Yeah, so there's no point calling anything now. Yes.
Early trends, I think the most important thing I have seen is the JDU recovering ground after the fall in 2020. That is extremely significant because that will actually also decide a lot of other things on the ground and in government formations.
Rahul, quickly, and then I'll complete.
Just continuing that point, I think there seems to be greater synergy within the alliance partner of NDA. Everyone seems to be contributing in proportion to the number of seats they are contesting. On the other hand, as there was lopsided, like RJD is really big party, it was contesting 143 seats, but it seems Congress, which was the party which is contesting 60 odd seats, almost 1/5, and their performance continues to be.
When you delete 65 lakh voters,
I think it is very important.
ये जरा सुन लीजिए सर, उसके बाद please add on. When you delete 65 lakh voters, mostly from opposition's voters, what do you expect on result day? Democracy cannot survive if the playing field is tilted even before the match begins. Hashtag SIR, hashtag vote chori. Guess who? Moneycontrol Tagore.
Madam Tagore is saying, but I think Zaka, we must on a more serious note look at this as if they are postal ballot, counting is going on, postal ballot people, they have a socio-political profile, we must take cognizance of it and wait and watch.
Fair enough.
I think the picture is far from clear now.
But then you should say that to Moneycontrol Tagore also.
I think you have a better line with him.
Yes, postal ballots, but I think what's important there, I think I'd reiterate the point being made. The NDA alliance sees two important partners actually taking the alliance forward, whereas in the case of the India alliance, it's just one party which is doing the job there. And as mentioned earlier, if JDU is leading in 36 seats, I think if you look at the map where those 36 seats are, a lot of those are seats which they actually lost in 2020 thanks to the LJP's work in those seats. So they are recovering those seats, they are doing well in those areas, and that I think is an important development that these.
I think when a party does well across regions, it's a sign that the wind is behind their back.
Confidence hai babu.
The Bihar election is about arithmetic, and you see RJD is not doing badly. 35 seats.
Yeah, of course.
It's almost single-handedly pulling the weight. But
no, there is vote chori. RJD, how is it? Is doing 65 lakh voters gone. How is RJD doing well? Yeah.
Also, if these trends hold, then another very clear picture is that it's total decimation of the Congress when it comes to regional issues, right? So this will have a multiplier effect on state elections in other assembly.
Listen to the local
despite
partner.
Yatra, despite Yatra.
Listen to the local partner ki local ground ka mudda kya hai.
But one more point, I think, like
sir, please listen.
I'm listening, and
sir.
In the like a couple of months back, there was a lot of conversation about Prashant Kishore and JSP, and I think now at least that seems to be the chances of them even to basically touch double digit is very, very difficult.
No, when
I understood, but I don't want to pander into that conversation anymore.